Hello everyone. Recently, on social media, I saw a particular comment by one of the members of our Magic the Gathering community, where he was claiming that he bought a particular card, which usually goes around $30, and he bought this card for $15. He was quite happy with the purchase, but obviously when the card arrives, it had a particular surprise. Yes, the card that this player bought was not fake, didn't have any problem at all with the grading. The problem of this card and the reason why he got it at a very cheap price, that is nearly 50% of the original price of the card, the reason was that the card had a very strong smell of cigarettes. This is a very concerning thing regarding cardboards, regarding cards, and especially Magic the Gathering cards. If cards collections are stored in a house where there is regular smoking of cigarettes, the cardboard of the card will absorb that smell. And after years of smoke absorption, the card will retain a very strong smell of cigarettes. Obviously, for those that don't smoke, like I do, the smell of cigarettes is not pleasant, and therefore you want that the card that you bought for a cheap price to be without the smell of cigarettes. So today I have decided to show you various techniques and a particular technique so that you can remove the smell of cigarettes from your Magic the Gathering cards. First of all, you have to be aware that the process that I'm going to show you, they are quite lengthy processes. They are not difficult, they are not costly, but they require time. So don't pretend that you're going to remove the smell of a cigarette from your cards in a couple of days. I have an ether vial here. For our example, let's say that this card have been in an environment in a house where there is heavy smoking, especially if the cards have been played and people smoke while they are playing with the cards, and especially if they don't use sleeves. You have the smell of cigarettes on your hands and you're touching the cards. That obviously will transfer the smell of cigarettes on the card. What you have to do to remove the smell? One good technique is that you use cooking paper. Use cooking paper, you fold the card in the cooking paper, which it is an absorption of the smell. You fold the card and you leave it for a particular time so that the cooking paper will absorb the smell of smoke. What is the disadvantage of this? Obviously you have to repeat this process various times. You have to remove the cooking paper, throw it away, take another piece and fold it back so that the cooking paper will continue to absorb the smell of smoke from the card. As I said, this is a lengthy process and it will guarantee that it will remove part of the smell of cigarettes. Another method, this is a little bit more, no, I'm not saying complicated, but there is a lot of risk in it, is to use rice. Basic rice, uncooked. As I see, you put the card in a container. You put the card in a container. You put the rice on the card, as you see, and you leave it there for about a couple of weeks. The rice will absorb the moisture of the card and also would absorb the smell of the smoke of the cigarettes. What is the disadvantage of this method? The disadvantage of this method is that you can and you risk to damage your card. Obviously, you can risk to damage part of your card, and therefore I don't recommend using this method. The method that I'm going to show you now is what I think is the best method to use. You take 2 fresh pack cards that you have pulled from your packs. These are 2 Rivals of Excellence cards that I have recently pulled, and you put the card with the smell of smoke between the 2 freshly packed cards. You can smell the new freshly packed cards. They have that smell of the ink, and this method, if you leave it for a couple of days, the new cards will begin to absorb part of the smell of cigarettes from your card, and they will put back some smell of ink into your new card. After 2 days, you throw away the common cards and you get another new common fresh pack cards, still from the set Rivals of Excellence. You put it again on the card and you leave it for another couple of days. Something else you can do is that you can put it in a book so that it remains in a better condition. Just be aware that the smell of cigarettes can be transferred also in the paper of the book. This method, if you repeat it for a couple of weeks, you always replace the new cards with newer cards, especially fresh pack, will guarantee that the smell of cigarettes will be removed from your card. I hope this video helps you when you ever encounter this situation, and stay tuned to my channel for more interesting videos.